Okay, we're continuing with the book here, The Best of the West in Art, Music, Movies, Books by me, Pete Rogers. We're on page 446 of the book. This is the movie number 56 about this book, part 9 of the paintings from the 1800s. You know, the Belle Epoque, the Victorian Renaissance, Catholic Revival, the greatest time of painting ever in the history of the world. So the first one we'll start with, though, is from the 1700s by Canaletto, Entrance to the Grand Canal of Venice. He made a lot of beautiful paintings of Venice. 1700s, you know, is sort of like neoclassicism style of art. Now a painting from the 1800s, sort of the Romantic era of art. The Autumn on the Hudson by Jasper Cropsey. The Hudson River School is the best landscape paintings ever. That's sort of like started by Thomas Coles, like one of the founding members of that. And then other great artists, Albert Bierstadt, you know, goes on and on. It's the greatest landscape painting ever made in the history of the world. So Autumn on the Hudson by Jasper Cropsey, 1860. Okay, the next one here is Above the Clouds at Sunrise by Frederick Edwin Church from 1848. Look how beautiful this painting is. It's like heaven, okay? I mean, it's just awesome. All right. I love art history. I could be a professor of art history. It would be fun for me. I would enjoy that. Okay, now here is The Monarch of the Glen. This is a painting by Edwin Landseer, the Scottish artist. So isn't that spectacular? And that reminds one, too, of the Highlands. The Highlands in Scotland are very beautiful. I've been reading about Walter Scott lately. If you want a magnificent novel about life in the Highlands, read Waverley by Walter Scott. Okay, so now here's kind of a very emotionally moving painting. This one is called The Fox Caught in the Trap by Gustave Courbet. And this is kind of Western civilization. We're caught in the trap of all this gaslighting, this woke BS, which is really just, you know, brilliant psychological communism to make the West feel guilty for being superior to all other civilizations. No. Multiculturalism is BS. The West and Christianity are superior to all other cultures and civilizations. It is the West where all these modern inventions came from. The computer, the steam engine, the Industrial Revolution, high-quality realistic painting, the cathedrals. It goes on and on. The university system. Okay, it all came from the West. Okay, these other cultures, you know, did almost nothing in comparison. It's just a fact. I'm currently reading a book by Arthur Herman called How Scotland Invented the Modern World. And it's actually true. That little tiny little country with just a few million people, Scotland, produced more genius achievements than, you know, pretty much most of the rest of the world. Okay, that little tiny place, Scotland. You'd be amazed how much genius came out of there. From Adam Smith, from the Atom family, from Walter Scott, from Robert Burns, Lord Kames. It's going to go on and on. There's a whole bunch of other ones too. I'm not going to go any further with it, but they had a magnificent genius age. The Italian Renaissance, okay, the scholastic system, and, you know, Merovingian Renaissance, the Carolingian Renaissance, the Thomas Aquinas and the scholastics. Okay, anyways, the scientific method, etc., etc. Fox Caught in a Trap, great painting. Western civilization is the beautiful fox caught in a gaslighting trap of nonsense, okay, trying to destroy the West and make it like these other third world crap holes. The reason everybody wants to move to the West is because it's magnificent. The reason nobody wants to move to those other countries is because they're third world crap holes. We don't want the West to become like that, okay, where no art gets made, no good literature gets made, and there's all this violence in the street. Who wants that? Those places stink. Okay, here's the painting, Frederick Edwin Church, Niagara Falls. It's just beautiful, sublime. Okay, and that's what it really looks like. I actually traveled there many years ago. Okay, here's the next one. Lifeline by Winslow Homer. Beautiful. Very masculine. So the woman, you see her, and, you know, she's a beautiful woman, and the guy, he's always hidden. It's a typical guy saving a woman, you know, and he's in the background. She's still the star of the show, even though he's doing all the work. That's how it goes. From 1884 by Winslow Homer. Okay. Okay, now here's a nice painting, Cross on the Mountains by Caspar David Friedrich. And again, this is sort of romanticism, you know, early 1800s romanticism, sort of a reaction to the dryness of neoclassicism, sort of the atheistic dryness of neoclassicism. And what they miss out is Catholicism was, you know, co-inhabiting Rome with the pagans for over 500 years, you know, from 30 AD for another 500 years. So Catholicism is friends with paganism. Catholicism respects paganism. It was the Catholic monasteries that saved all the pagan books from the ancient Greeks and Roman, and recognized that truth is one wherever it comes from. And they were magnificent. All the other barbarians and all the other cultures, they didn't save hardly anything, okay? So, anyways, that's the only thing that's going to save the world and make people get along is Christian ethics. That's it. Everything else anybody else tells you is BS, okay? It's just going to be some tyrant saying, do what I say or I'll kick your butt. So anyways, Cross on the Mountains by Caspar David Friedrichs. So romanticism in painting. Romantic realism, you might call it. And here's another painting called Cathedral, Cross and Cathedral in the Mountains by Caspar David Friedrich in 1812. And again, it's going to come down to that. Either we're going to respect the cross and the Christian ethics, or we're going back to slavery. But anyways, that's what I got for today. I think we'll leave it at that for this part of these landscape paintings. I got tons more magnificent landscape paintings, but I'm going to start doing seascapes on the next one, so they're all going to be a different genre. This will be it for today. I hope you found those interesting.